Culpepper versus Simone.
My name is John Simone. I'm from Vancouver, Washington, and I'm here to win this fight tonight.
My name is Quinten Culpepper. I'm from Warner Robins, Georgia, fighting out of Rush MMA out of Macon, Georgia, and I'm here to make my UFL 1 debut.
My style is more grappling based. I'm a wrestler. I'm also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I plan on mixing it up using a lot of feints, mixing in some takedowns, but trying to get a knockout too.
I think to come away with the victory tonight, I feel like it boiled down to my striking, keeping it standing, forcing them into some bad shot situations and making them pay for it from there.
I think it's going to take a lot of just in his face, cardio, push the pace, and I think I'll be able to wear him down.
If the striking goes the way that I planned it to go, then it forced him into a bad situation and maybe catch him on the way in from a shot, or end up on the ground and let my jiu-jitsu take over from there.
So here we are, live from the Bell Bank Park Arena. History is being made right here. John Simone making the first walk to UFL 1, entering this arena. Me, Brian Lacey, alongside Frank Mir, calling the fights all night long. And here he comes. This, the 31-year-old representing ATT, American Top Team Portland. You look at his record, Frank, a record of 5-3. For all 5 wins are by finish, 4 are by knockout, 1 by submission. But in his own admission, as far as his base, he is a grappler who even goes and competes on that submission underground, where he's 3-1 in that promotion. He's the type of fighter where people look to take him down and he capitalizes, or look to give him standing, he capitalizes on them defending the takedown by catching him with the hands as well.
Absolutely, that's actually how he motivates guys to take bad shots on them. He's a very powerful puncher, natural power in his hands, and likes to throw them. So his mindset is, if you stand there, I'm going to knock your head off. I'm going to throw heavy, hard, ill-intentioned strikes at you. And then if you don't like that, you're going to take a bad shot, put me on the ground, but hey, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I like being there, and that's going to only go ahead and get much more worse for you from that point on.
He talks about this fight in particular, this fight against Quinten Culpepper. Both have got good records, 5-1 versus 5-3, 31 versus 35. He just feels that he will be better in all areas though. And that's interesting with Culpepper when you look at his grappling background as well. But he wants to make this as scrap. Simone wants to make this like a rough, ugly fight as possible, to open up opportunities to really put that grappling on display.
Absolutely, I think that he has an opportunity to finish this fight by knockout. He's able to knock out, he's able to win by submission. But that's the thing about his mindset he's showing there. He wants to win by not allowing the judges to have any kind of say in this fight.
Next, we welcome Quinten King Culpepper. Here he is, repping that King Culpepper t-shirt. And I got to ride into the arena with him today, man. As cool and as calm as you will see a fighter. One of those cerebral guys. And you look, he said to me quite openly, he said, I'm 35. I realize I'm not just fighting my opponents now, I'm fighting Father Time. I've had 6 pro fights. I've got 5 wins out of those. All 5 by finish, by the way. 3 submissions, 2 knockouts. But he said, look, I got to make an impact early in this sport, and he wants to do that right now in the opening bout here at UFL 1.
That's an advantage you have when you get older, is that you realize that you're not going to fight forever. I remember myself when I first started, turned pro, you're 20 years old, in the UFC at 21, you start thinking, you don't realize that, I can miss a practice, I can push the fight off. This is going to be forever. Culpepper's now at that age where he realizes, oh man, this is a limited amount of time. I'm only going to be able to fight so many times, and he wants to take advantage of that now. He now gives you much a reinvigorated enthusiasm for the sport. You love it. You sit there and go, hey, I might only be able to do this for 2 or 3 more years. This might be my second to last Christmas as a professional fighter. This might be the last summer I have where I'm a professional, full-blown professional fighter. And I think that lights a fire into people's butts like it has into Culpepper. Culpepper really enjoys the training, the pushing, and he sees this as every opportunity that he walks into this cage, he has to be not successful, but extremely devastating, so that he can push his career into the farther and higher fights he wants to get sooner than later.
So both fighters inside the cage. UFL 1 is underway. We need one man to kick it off. Let's hand it to him. Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mesa, Arizona, welcome to United Fight League #1, fueled by N3 Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 10 fights in the league that builds and backs fighters, not builds on the backup fighters. This is UFL. Ladies and gentlemen, these bouts are conducted under the authority of the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission, Executive Director Danny A. Vela, and Chairman Scott Fletcher. Your judges this evening will be Greta Cox, Sean Dallas Hall, Eric Curcio, and Dennis O'Connell. Your referees this evening, Raul Parada, Joe Coca, and Al Kaini. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first fight of the evening? Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 5-minute rounds in the 155-pound lightweight division. Introducing first the fighter on my left, standing 5'10", weighing in at 154.3 pounds. His professional record, 5 wins and 3 defeats. Fighting out of Portland, Oregon, Sean Simone. And now his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'10", he weighed in at 154.1 pounds. His record, 5 wins, only 1 defeat. Fighting out of Macon, Georgia, I give you Quinten King Culpepper. And your referee when the action begins, Joe Coca. Let's go, Culpepper!
Set and ready for bout #1 here in the United Fight League. History being made by these two men. Quinten Culpepper in the red corner, black and white shorts, taking on John Simone. Those funky yellow shorts in the blue corner. Me, Brian Lacey, alongside Frank Mir. Now, Frank Mir, I'm going to drop some facts at you. Quinten Culpepper, like the man next to me, Colin McCombs, has a win by toe hold in one of his other professional fights. Fantastic finish that.
Well, it's a common hold. We use a lot of grappling. No-gi grappling, specifically some gi styles actually are prohibited, but it's a very dangerous submission. I have an ankle injury from being put in a toe hold in the gym, not tapping soon enough early in my career, and I saw it as very deadly, and I don't understand really why it's not used more, because it is a very devastating submission. Destroys the ankle.
These two feeling each other out early, Frank, switching stances somehow.
You wouldn't guess that Simone is as high level of a BJJ practitioner as he is, because his kickboxing is really good. You can see how he's switching stance, staying out. He's J-stepping out, keeps the back foot in the direction he's going, so he's always loading. You've seen him now switch angles and really angle up on that leg kick. Kind of caught that on the chest.
Top down, could have been dangerous there. John Simone now with him up against the cage. Culpepper, that single leg up.
But even at the very beginning, the first leg kick, he did a much better chance of defending. He pulled his hips back, kept his foot down, and right now, 10 finger, right?
Yeah.
Right now, you see there, Culpepper going for a 10 finger choke. The guillotine really puts a lot of emphasis on that Adam's apple. But Simone was able to keep his head out of that danger zone, connected his hands behind the hamstring. And as we always say, once you see a guy against the cage connect his hands below the butt like that, it's almost 99 out of 100. The other guy's going down.
Well, this is interesting. Culpepper in his last fight took on Mike Wilson. He got caught by a leg kick, got taken to the mat, but then threw up a triangle extremely quickly. It was a phenomenal technical setup as well.
You can tell he's looking for it right now. He's trying to get an angle, foot on the hip. Right now, though, he's having a difficult time really establishing the kind of guard that he wants, because it is very difficult to do closed guard, any full guard movements when your head's jammed against the cage, because you lack mobility. You can't turn side to side. I would fight anybody, the best practitioners in the world with the guard, if I can jam their head against the cage.
You can see now, this is the position John Simone uses extremely well, not just in his submission grappling tournaments, but also in MMA, that top pressure game, Frank.
Yep, he's driving forward, he's making sure that he can't flip side to side. Simone's keeping great pressure, and he's staying parallel to the hips right now, not making any ability for Culpepper to get perpendicular, which would open up the triangles and arm bars and omoplatas and other traditional techniques off the back of the guard. It's harder also to stand up. Right now, Culpepper has both feet up off the ground. That's the furthest you can be from getting back up to your feet.
Culpepper trying to make some adjustments now, switching down.
And that's actually not a bad thing. See, he's working that butterfly hook. Almost was able to get established over the side, but doesn't really have a way to eliminate the post on the left side of John Simone. But a lot of guys from there, and myself included, as a fighter and as a coach, I tell people, hey, man, drop your leg. Let the other guy transition to half guard. Let the guy pass so that your hips aren't trapped anymore. So you can rotate to the mat and start to get up. Because it is extraordinarily difficult to submit or sweep anybody when you're on your back with your head against the cage.
Culpepper doing all he can now. He's got a head arm over there, looking for that arm in, but also using the butterfly guard, trying to, like you said, make some distance, make some space. And space is key, and John Simone is just a space vampire, right? He takes every bit away so that you've got no motion, no movement, no options.
And that's exactly what you want to do from the top position. Top guy wants to be tight, static, no momentum. The bottom guy, you need chaos. You need movement, motion to create opportunities. And right now, John Simone is taking that away from Culpepper. Culpepper's trying to generate them, but really he's battling, not only is he battling John Simone right now, he's battling the cage. And John Simone, on the other hand, has the advantage of using the cage, of driving Culpepper against it to make sure that he really blocks his spine. He's not able to switch side to side or create any room.
35 seconds left in this opening round here at UFL 1 in the Bout Park Arena. What a night this is set to be. Already kicking it off here with the prelims live on Rumble. And again, you can donate direct to the fighters. Go to Rumble/United Fight League. You can click on that Rumble ramp button and you can donate directly. Make sure you leave a message, leave the name of the fighter you want to donate to. And again, another way of just changing the game, Frank, right? Putting those fighters forward. Nice elbow, though, right to finish the round. Round one in the books there. And Frank, the interesting thing for me there, it was one takedown, basically. Yes. One takedown, and that was the position Simone was able to sustain and keep for the rest of the round. What does Culpepper need to do differently now in this second round?
Well, he needs to make sure he sets up to kicks properly, that he doesn't get caught taken down, because that's the disadvantage of our sport that we have in MMA, is that if you kick the guy in the leg and he grabs it and falls down with you, the referee doesn't stand you up against you, can throw another one. That's what the advantage of a lot of kickboxing styles have. So they don't care about setting the kick up as definitively as we do. In MMA, you have to be way more selective about when that foot leaves the ground. Here it left the ground and actually almost did some damage because John Simone, I don't think he saw the kick. I think he already initiated that takedown, initiated that head outside, single or double, it looked like, and dropped his chest right into that knee. Had he been 1 or 2 inches more further away from Culpepper, that might have been a knockout. Running into a kick like that is extremely dangerous. And as a wrestler, takedown, you have to be very cautious about that when you're fighting some of these kicks.
A game of millimeters, not inches. Simone in the blue corner, Culpepper in the reds. This round 2 here, UFL 1. And again, again, now look at this. Culpepper's trying to initiate the takedown this time. Nice clinch. Here he comes, Culpepper bringing the pressure, the heat early in round 2, Frank.
And he's trying to get it back. He knows he lost that first round, unhappy with that performance, and he's turning it on. Better angle on the kick, harder for Culpepper. Culpepper not wanting to take the shot on it. And that flurry, see, that was a nice setup. You see the sort of orthodox stance. John Simone faked the knee, stepped forward with it, used the fake of a teep kick. There he almost ran into it again. It seems to be a style. He is obviously picking up and initiating his shot off of something he's seen from Culpepper. And Culpepper's throwing those kicks. At the time, he's almost running into them.
Yeah, it's been close twice with those kicks, both looking for the takedown. Culpepper a little bit more urgent to create space once that clinch is in there, Frank.
Well, he doesn't want to end up on the bottom again. He didn't really have an ability to sweep or submit or to stand up from those positions. So that was very fatiguing, very tiring for him. Even though he was not getting landed a lot, Johnson didn't really land any devastating shots. He was still pressured against the cage. Diaphragm can't breathe. It's fatiguing to be there. So now he wants to be more selective. He's tender about when to take that kick and to throw it. And so it's slowing him down.
Simone as well, utilizing that lead low calf kick. Oh, now he ducked on. That was well timed. That was beautiful timing from Simone.
Much better timing on Simone's part. He did again. I like that when you fake things, you got to make sure the movement can't differentiate you from other ones. Right then, he faked a backside teep kick again, picked up his knee, and instead of throwing the roundhouse, he stepped into a double leg takedown. So it's kind of like a pitcher in baseball. He throws a fastball, then also the changeup and a curve. But before that ball leaves their hand, their body has to do the same motion, or it's not a fake. And Simone did a phenomenal job of that. He has about 3 different techniques he's shown today that come off that backside, and then popping the knee up, either throwing a punch, throwing that roundhouse, or we just saw a beautiful double.
And with that, with the efficiency, with the timing, it makes it an easier takedown as well, right? You're
effortless.
You're effortless, great word.
Yes, that's the thing. Look, technique is beautiful and great, and then you have to be athletic and strong to drive through it. The better you can surprise your opponent, the more you can catch him off guard through your flow as you catch him, the easier it is to do it. It's like tackling a guy who's just standing straight up and down. If he sees you coming and he gets ready, man, it's going to be a little more difficult.
2 minutes left in this second round here. Culpepper trying to do some different things now. He's making it a bit more active.
Yeah. What we talked about earlier about John Simone's training, keeping their spines parallel, making sure that he's flat on his back and their spines are going the same direction. Right there, you saw Culpepper trying to create an angle, right? When we say that, like, what are you doing? You're like, well, becoming perpendicular allows me to slide my foot under for a butterfly guard, maybe top the head over the top for an arm bar, pull the inside in for a triangle. All the techniques. You really need to be perpendicular to make most things work off your back and jiu-jitsu.
And just listen to the corners as well. You can hear John Simone's corner here right beside us. And they're continuously just reminding the man to breathe. They've got a lot of faith in their fighter in this position. They're used to seeing him here. The rounds they have over at ATT Portland, there's a lot of heavy sparring.
Well, John Simone's doing a beautiful job, driving forward, heavy pressure, throwing enough strikes. He's looking to land heavy shots. He's doing beautiful. On Culpepper's part, he's fighting a guy who's doing everything right, but he really is busting one. Oh, he might have busted his shin on that one.
Oh.
Yeah, he's hurt.
That was an instant reaction. I wasn't sure if he checked it properly there, but he certainly saw the stumble from Simone.
The perennial nerve on the outside of the calf sometimes lights up.
Oh, the guillotine attempt. Oh, he's gone. Wow, look at this.
He's not defending it correctly. He's on his knees and he's sitting up. This is the wrong way.
Culpepper instantly jumped on this.
His butt up in the air and
Now he
drive his shoulders forward. If he gets his butt up, he'll be okay. This is bad.
Oh, his head's out. His head's out now.
Ooh, that way he just defended, was ballsy, gutsy, and took energy, and was not the efficient way. Let's put it politely.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. An intriguing last minute when the referee stood him back up. The incident with the calf kick there, and then...
Well, you see him pointed his hand? Yeah. When he stood up before that calf kick, he looked over his corner and pointed down. John Simone did at his hand. Now you got to see maybe the interaction in the corner, see what's going on.
Oh, there's he kind of tripped over his foot there, but like you said, kind of stumbled. But now let's watch that corner. That's the takedown, the guillotine. You said he was defending it wrong, Frank. What exactly was he doing wrong here?
Well, look, the guillotine is pulling your head down, right? It's hanging you. So the farther your hips are away from your head, the worse it is. So right there, the ground stops your opponent from pulling up on your head. He can only go so far. So your job is to lift your hips back up and drive your shoulder down.
I just want to show you something, Frank. Look at his left eye. The corner there just pulled the eyelid up there. It looked like it's already closed. The left eye of Culpepper there. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Well, there was a really hard punch that John Simone threw from guard. A lot of his punches is thrown from his knees. Those are not very powerful. When you put one knee up and you have your foot on the ground, he threw a right hand that had a lot of velocity and power in it because he was able to push off his foot.
The referee just walked, sorry.
That could be the punch that did it.
The referee just walked up. You can see that visibly shutting is that left eye.
Not only does it take away your vision from that side of your body, but you need two eyes to have depth perception. If one eye becomes damaged, it becomes very hard to judge distance. And now punches and kicks start scoring a lot easier.
It's for me one of the things when people just say with the eye poke, the 5 minutes. 5 minutes doesn't let you get over an eye poke because it's that depth of perception. You'll go on, you'll fight because you're a fighter. But again, people don't truly understand what that changes within the battle after that.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Here we go. Round 3, intriguing end to round 2. Culpepper moving forward now.
I like how Culpepper is switching his kicks instead of throwing the roundhouse to the thigh. Throwing more of the teeth, keeping his kicks coming from the ground up from the middle. Because that way, something that John Simone's shown that he already does is that he sometimes mistimes the kick.
Yes.
You're lifting it up right in the direction the guy would take a shot. He could run right into it. We've seen some very high-level fighters get caught and knocked out by taking a shot on a guy who's throwing a kick up the middle.
Again, look at this Simone going in for this takedown. Oh, elevating his man. Look at the strength.
And pulling his head up the way he did, not only did that bring his hips in, but it helped eliminate the chances of Culpepper wrapping that neck into a guillotine. Very smart on his part to realize, hey, Culpepper has a good guillotine. I didn't like what that felt like last time I was in there, so I'll make sure that he can't wrap it up as tight as he did last time. Preventative medicine is always better than the cure.
Now, Culpepper again, questions being asked of him on bottom. Simone so strong from his top position on that takedown. Executing an excellent lift and then drive to the mat.
Well, really, when Culpepper goes home, he needs to add some aspect to his game right now that I didn't have in the first 2/3 of my career. Because of his success in jiu-jitsu, he knows submissions from his back, he knows sweeps from his back, but he doesn't know how to scramble from his back. And you have to really do what I call the 3 S's. You have to either be scrambling, submitting, or sweeping someone. Because the top guy cannot block all 3 with the same posture. If you're blocking a submission, you're vulnerable to the guy standing up. If you're trying to hold him down, you're vulnerable to the sweep. If you're blocking the sweep, you can be vulnerable to the submission. And so now, the top guy has to be on alert, constantly switching and changing. Right now, John Simone only has to worry about submissions and some sweeps.
He's looking for submission of himself, Frank. Look at that. He's gone for the head and arm around the side.
And Culpepper has really shown no intentions to scramble, to try to get to his feet, because Simone to eliminate his more secure positions of forward driving.
Final 1 minute 50 seconds now. This opening bout here at UFL, and it's great to see looking around the Bellbank Park Arena here, already filling up. Great atmosphere, great energy for this historic night of fights in Mesa, Arizona. Simone, just the pressure, the top pressure, and look at the hip movement, and it's little things like that, the twitches.
Great sumo step over the half guard. But it's right there, that shows, look how Culpepper used that opportunity to go ahead and re-guard him, as we would say in jiu-jitsu. That's great in jiu-jitsu, there's no wall or the mat.
Oh, big elbows coming down like that as well, Fran. That was solid from Simone.
Yes, great damages. Looking to establish. He's putting his positional mindset first, nullify Culpepper's guard and hold him down. And once he accomplishes and checks those boxes, he then amplifies the power of his strikes. And right there you see great results. But Culpepper needs to be trying to get to his feet. Not that he can't do jiu-jitsu, but by doing so, John Simone would have to change some of his posture from top, which would then open up submissions and sweeps.
35 seconds now left in bout number 1 here. Another 9 scheduled bouts for you to enjoy. One more here on Rumble, and then we move to local. So make sure you jump and join us for the main card. The Grand Prix starts as we march towards the end of the year, where we will crown champions in multiple weight classes. Oh, another heavy leg kick there from Simone. And again, following it in. Really strong finish, Frank. This is how you want to leave it, right? If it's going to go to a decision, just make your mark and cut round.
Don't just look like a guy who's hiding behind him, holding on to a score, holding on to a lead. Great mindset for John Simone, showing that, hey, Culpepper's tough. He was trying to take him out and just ran out of time.
What a way to kick off UFL 1. And Frank, I don't know if you've noticed, but a superstar just sat next to me. Mr. Chris Angel. Oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah, believe it or not, a huge fan of the sport, looking to get his black belt in MMA.
How crazy is this?
Yes.
We're sat at the fights. I'm going to try and not freak out here.
Well,
stick to the job.
Make sure you say all the right things.
That's
right.
right.
Student, I want to make sure we're teaching him properly. I'll be very upset. I'm going to rechange everything we get home.
But here we go. Let's jump back to the fight, Frank.
Again, there's Simone firing forward, heavy overhand left as he's coming in, looking to make sure he avoids the legs. He did everything right. Great job tonight on his part. Take advantage of what Culpepper gave him. Culpepper still, though, hey, showed great skill in certain areas. Just a couple of areas in his game that allowed Simone to really control him for the duration of the 3 rounds.
So this one will go to the judges' scorecards. We will wait for those to come in. Again, you will get one more fight here, here on Rumble. And then we jump to locals. Make sure you follow us there. The rest of the card, that'll be the Grand Prix fights that will take us all through the year as we look to crown the first champions of UFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. All 3 judges have the same 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, John Simone.
So there we have it. John Simone takes the first victory, a historic moment here at UFL 1, and he's with the legend himself. Let's hand it to him now, Mr. Frank Mir.
Here we go, John Simone. Phenomenal fight. Very skilled guy you're fighting. He fought till the very end. Very first round, you came out there, showed great kickboxing, pulling from the kicks, throwing great ones. When you took your shot, seems like you ran into that first one. How bad did it hurt you?
It did kind of sting a little bit, but you know, I just poker faced it and then just kept fighting. Landed a couple jabs here and there, some kicks, some calf kicks, and then ultimately wanted to get the takedown, grind him out, wear him down, beat him up a little bit, and win the fight that way.
Now, we saw the game plan that obviously you developed as you were going, saw the openings to go ahead and hold him down and beat him up from on top. Was that the game plan coming into the fight?
The game plan was to stand up a little bit more, maybe get the knockout if it was there, but be patient, not rush anything. The takedown's there, take it. He's a black belt, I'm a black belt. I'm a wrestler. I like to just grind it out and win the fight anyway.
That being said, both black belts, we talked about both high-level athletes, practitioners of the ground art. Was there any time when you were on top of the guard, any of the setups that were a little, maybe something you were really looking for and making sure did not happen?
I was definitely worried about his triangles. I know he has a couple triangles from his back, so I was aware of that. He was trying them. I had to stifle them, but other than that, just stay on top, make sure I pass if I can, and just land some elbows and some good shots.
Hey, great win. What's next for Johnson?
Hopefully get back in here, put on another show for you guys, maybe get a knockout, finish this time, but I love you guys. Thanks for having me. Love Arizona. I want to thank my coaches, all my sponsors, my family, my friends, everybody that helped me for this camp. Love you guys. Couldn't do it without you.
I'm going to fight. Congratulations. Your winner, John Simone.